This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
The X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Do you believe in magic? In a young girl's heart, how the music can free her whenever it starts, and it's magic. If the music is groovy and makes you feel happy like an old-time movie, I'll tell you about the magic and it'll free your soul. But it's like trying to tell a stranger about a rock and roll. You believe in magic.
And welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell. If you'd like to send me an email, xzone at xzoneradiotv.com, on all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And to find out more about the X-Zone Radio TV show, xzoneradiotv.com, and to find out the programming we have available for you 7/24, 365 on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. Along with the X-Zone Broadcast Network, we are heard on the Talkstar Radio Network, Mutual Broadcast Network, Radio X across Europe, Euro Radio TV in Europe, and of course on iHeartRadio. My guest this hour is David Twichell. He is a field investigator for the Michigan chapter of MUFON. That's the Mutual UFO Network, as well as its public relations officer and newsletter editor. David has authored 2 nonfiction books on the subject of UFOs and co-authored The Filer Files, World Reports of UFO Sites, with George Filer. He has also authored one of the science fiction books that he describes as the UFO phenomenon from the aliens' point of view. David has had an interest in the UFO phenomena since he had his own experience in 1962, close encounter sighting in the presence of his entire family and hundreds of eyewitnesses in the Detroit, Michigan area. He has been a guest on numerous media shows, as well as hosting his own local cable show entitled We Are Not Alone in the Downriver Area. The 1-hour radio version of the show is presently broadcast in Dearborn, Michigan on WHFR.FM, as well as on the World Wide Web. The show can be heard the first Tuesday of each month, and you can go and find all the information about David, his show, his books, and everything else you will need to know at www.ufoimplications.com. And for MUFON, their website is mufon.com. And David, welcome to the X-Zone.
Well, thank you, Rob. Thanks for having me on.
It's great having you again with us. So what have you been up to since you and I last talked?
Since we last talked, well, not much of anything other than investigating UFO sightings in Michigan. And as you said, I do the newsletter for MUFON, Michigan MUFON chapter,
right.
Anyway. And, my last book, the fiction book, New Heaven, A New Earth, that was the last book I have written. So
that's a very interesting premise. What the aliens think. I don't think I've ever read a book or heard of a book like that before.
Well, I thought it would be something a little different, so gave it a shot, and got good feedback on it. So
So tell me, are UFO sightings up or down or staying at an even par in Michigan?
They seem to be up a little bit. Of course, during the summer months, they're up because people are out and about, and they're able to see them more.
Right.
More than they do in the winter. But I think there's just as many in the winter as there are in the summer. Of course, 80% of them are they can be explained, conventional terms, but only 1 or 2% are out-and-out hoaxes, and the rest of them we just don't know.
So what would that leave? About 2%?
No, 2% are hoaxes, and 80% are IFOs, or identifiable objects. So I would guesstimate that good 88% are unknowns. Now, are they ETs from the planet Melmac? I don't know. So,
now,
but they're simply unknown.
All right, stand by. You and I have to take our break. We'll be back in a second. Well, actually, in 2 minutes to be exact. And when we come back, let's start talking about your very own sighting that you had that kind of catapulted you into the job that you're doing now with our good friends at MUFON. X-Zone Nation, our guest this hour, is David Twichell, and once again, his website is ufoimplications.com. By the way, if you'd like to hear the interview that Kevin Randall did with James, or is it Jan Harzan? Visit www.xzbn.net and go to Kevin Randall's show entitled A Different Perspective. I'm Rob McConnell. Don't go away.
More beautiful. This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Hello, I'm Pete Marsh. With my daughter Justina, we will be presenting the new radio show, Too Good to Be True. If something seems too good to be true, it usually is. But with the help of Justina's amazing gifts, we're going to gain insight into questions that don't yet have complete answers. Have you wondered who built Stonehenge and for what reason? Why are crop circles found in the same region as Stonehenge and elsewhere? Are crop circles a hoax, or are they created with technologies that we have little knowledge of? Who built the pyramids in Egypt and also in other countries? How and why were they built? Was the Titanic switched with the Britannic as part of a gigantic insurance fraud, or for more insidious reasons? What caused the Tunguska event when trees were flattened over an 800 square mile area in Siberia? Will the new insights be too good to be true? Well, that will depend on what you are prepared to believe. Please join us as we start on this journey together. For more information on Too Good to Be True, visit www.xzbn.net.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
Hello, yeah, it's been a while. Not much. How about you? I'm not sure why I called. I guess I really just wanted to talk to you.
Welcome back, everyone. David E. Twichell is our special guest this hour, and his website is ufoimplications.com. Dave, you say you're not a UFO believer, but you're a UFO witness. Tell us about your own personal UFO sighting.
Right. I was back in '62, and I was 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So you do the math. I was going off to bed. My whole family was going off to bed one Saturday night because we had church to attend to in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked out my window. It was 11 o'clock at night in Michigan. And now this is Detroit, Michigan, not out in the middle of the country or anything.
Right.
Heavily populated residential area. Perfectly clear summer sky.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked out the window, and there was this bright green spot in the sky, and a billowing smoke seemed to be coming out of one point in the sky with this green light behind it. I called my parents' attention to it, and pretty soon we're out in the front lawn all looking up as the smoke is coming out, not clouds, mind you, but smoke is billowing out of this one point in the sky, and the colors are shimmering. Now they're not green anymore, but multicolored. And pretty soon, a humongous craft came through that point in the sky, as though the sky was giving birth to this craft, with these huge round lights of various colors, none of which were FAA standard. And it settled right over our neighborhood, right above treetop level. So guesstimating about 200 feet in the air. And it is there pretty soon, and I said to my parents, well, what is this? Well, I don't know. And my mother said, it's the second coming. Very religious woman.
Yes.
And she thought it was the second coming. And then I look over to my left, and I see this little tornado of smoke coming down, billowing down, as if an air jet was pushing it from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, we look up, and the craft is gone. And we just walked back into the house after this light show, smoke and light show, and didn't say anything more about it that night, just went to bed. As if nothing happened. Didn't say anything about it until the next day. And then my dad gets a newspaper, Sunday newspaper, and he says that other people. We didn't report it. My dad didn't report it, but other people had. I mean, come on, it's 11 o'clock at night in Detroit. Sure. Other people are going to see it, right? And so they had to come up with an explanation. They said that it was the Northern Lights. And I even as a kid, I knew what the Northern Lights looked like. Mm-hmm. My mother had grown up in East Jordan, Michigan. My father had spent 2 years in Alaska. They knew what the Northern Lights looked like. And they didn't know what we were looking at. So I realized one thing at that time, that the government doesn't want to admit what's going on, what we're seeing. I spent the rest of my life trying to prove at least that my family and I were not crazy and that we saw what we saw.
All these.
So now
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I was going to say, all these years later, are you any closer to finding what you saw really was?
Well, I've realized, too, as an investigator, that every question that is answered, 10 more are posed.
Yeah.
So I don't think that the human brain can wrap itself around what is really going on. I mean, I think it's E.T., whether it's from another planet or another dimension. And I once asked a friend of mine who was an abductee, is this other dimensional or extraterrestrial? And he said both. Extraterrestrial, coming through other dimensions, and other dimensions coming through, vortexes. And I know that it's coming through vortexes. People say, well, they can't get here from there because we know that because we can't get there from here.
But what about black holes?
Black holes, this is what I'm saying. This is what they use. I'm sure that this is what they use. Because I witnessed it. I don't know the technology behind it.
Right.
But I witnessed this craft coming through a hole in the sky. I mean, it was well within our atmosphere, up in the sky, a few hundred feet up in the sky. And so they depart there wherever they're coming from, and fold space and time, and just appear in our space and time. I witnessed that happen. My whole family did.
My goodness. It sounds as if it was something out of Close Encounters of the Third Kind where, or not even, there's a scene where the craft is coming towards the farmhouse and it comes out of a plume of smoke or a plume of fire, and the same analogy is used in Independence Day.
Right. Now, when I first saw Close Encounters, I was with my wife at the time, and that scene came up, and those clouds were over that farmhouse.
Yeah.
The little boy had just been abducted, and she's running out after him. And I looked at that, and I said to her out loud, here I am in the theater, that's what I saw. That's exactly what I saw. Quiet, Dave, quiet. But that's exactly what I saw.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what it sounded like to me when you described it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Close Encounters was the movie was based on all of these different eyewitness reports from all around the world.
Wow.
And they kind of made a collage of these reports into one movie.
As the director for MUFON in Michigan, where would you say the most heavily targeted for UFO sightings would be?
Heavily targeted in Michigan?
Yeah. Where is the hottest UFO spot in Michigan?
There isn't.
No way.
There isn't. No. It's just a pop up here or there. I mean, you can't go out to X place and sit there and wait for a UFO.
Okay.
You get a report from X place,
right?
And then it's someplace else. So I really could not could not pinpoint a certain location.
Let me ask you, do you have any reason to believe that you were abducted on that or any other occasion?
Yes, I didn't at the time. And, of course, my sister, she is 3 years my senior.
Right.
She witnessed the thing, and she had never had any belief in UFOs or anything. She was very Christian. She was very Christian too.
Right.
And God couldn't make other people on other planets. We're the only thing going. Well, when I wrote my first book, The UFO Jesus Connection, she read it just because her brother wrote it. Okay.
Yeah.
And in the book, I give some descriptions of what abductees experience.
Mm-hmm.
And when she was done reading it, she called me and she said, kind of funny, kind of cute. She says, "Are there any other books on this subject?"
Wow.
I said, "There's a couple." So, bottom line is, she came over to my house and she sat down and she said, "Why are these things happening to me? The same thing that are happening to other people." In fact, I recommended Bud Hopkins' Witnessed, and she read that book and she says, "Why are these things happening to me?" And so many things that happened to her since she was a child. Since she was a child, she thought it was normal for people to float out of their beds, through the walls, and drift along,
My goodness.
Yeah, she thought that was normal. So she didn't say anything about it.
Right.
Anyway. So, at any rate, come to find us, I recommended a psychiatrist or psychologist, I should say, who would hypnotize abductees in his spare time. And she and I went to him, and she was regressed. Took her back to that very sighting that I had told you about, and she testified under hypnosis that she watched them take me into the craft, and then they took her into the craft. And when we returned, our parents were standing on the front lawn looking up like they were mannequins. So they were kind of frozen in time.
Wow.
So, so I guess they don't. I'm the reject. They don't want me. They took me that one time. They don't want me anymore. But she's had many experiences where she witnessed the onset. She remembers the onset of the abduction and the aftermath, but doesn't recall the abduction.
Is it possible that you've been abducted more than once, but there is no recall or no witness to your abduction?
It's possible, but the reason I doubt it is that one abduction that my sister attests to, I recall the onset of it.
Right.
I don't being abducted, but I recall seeing the craft, us all out there on the lawn, and then the aftermath. The craft is gone, and we walk back into the house not saying anything, which is very, very typical of an abduction. And so that one time, but no other time do I recall the onset or aftermath of an abduction. Now, my sister, for example, one time, she walks down the hallway of her apartment into her bedroom, which the lights were off, and she gets to the door of her bedroom, and she sees her bedroom is flooded in the typical blue light. And she's standing there wondering where this blue light is coming from.
Right.
And with the snap of your fingers, she's sitting on the end of her bed. The light is gone. She had gone from her doorway to the end of her bed, which was in the other end of the room. And she just gets up and gets ready for bed and goes to bed. So there's the onset, the aftermath, and nothing in between. and this has happened to her many times, it's happened to many abductees many times, where I don't have that onset and aftermath like I did that one time.
So why do you...
That's why
Listen, we've got to take our break. This is very interesting. Please stand by, my friend. Exonation, David E. Twichell is our special guest, and we'll get back with David in a couple of minutes after the news as we continue from our broadcast center here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My name is Rob McConnell, and to the 32,176 people who emailed us about putting the music back into the show, your wish is my command.
Dreams are our personal gateways into infinite wisdom. Don't miss shamanic counselor and indigenously trained dream decoder Sandra Corcoran's inspiring book, Shamanic Awakening Between the Dark and the Daylight. This remarkable work chronicles Sandra's 35 years of experience with diverse wisdom keepers and her initiations throughout the Americas and across the British Isles, Turkey, Greece, and Egypt. Sandy's knowledge of symbology, psychology, and myth influence her dream blog and workshops. Sandy offers private tarot readings, international journeys, a meditative CD, as well as her book, Shamanic Awakening, to encourage you as you navigate this earth walk, creating a deeper connection to yourself and all that is. Find this and more at Sandy's website, starwalkervisions.com.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Mnemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created mnemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com.
Hello, I'm Justina Marsh, and with my dad Pete, we are going to present a new show called Too Good to Be True. Together, we are aiming to discover more truths about this world and beyond. Do you have unanswered questions about the world? Do you ever wonder about aliens, conspiracy theories, or the universe? There are many shows discussing subjects such as pyramids or UFOs, but we want to relay this information based on our own research, including from spiritual means. Hopefully, listeners will be helped with their own beliefs and will appreciate the psychic insights that add to the previous research and information. We both look forward to sharing this insight and beginning this journey with our listeners. Visit xzbn.net for more information about when to listen.
Everything turn, turn, turn. There is a secret.
And welcome back, everyone. David E. Twichell is our special guest this hour. He is with MUFON. In fact, he is the Michigan field investigator for the Michigan chapter of MUFON. Their website is www.mufon.com. But if you'd like to find out more about David, his website is ufoimplications.com. All right, David, so why do you think, after all the years you've done investigating UFOs after your experience, why do you think certain people are abducted and others are not? What do you think the criteria for abductee is?
What's the criteria? I think it's all random. I really do. And that said, it follows in a family line.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if you're an abductee, chances are your parents were abductees, and at least maternal parents, their maternal parents, or paternal parents were abductees as well. It seems to follow in family lines.
So has your father or mother ever been abducted?
They have never mentioned that. But they wouldn't, because they really wouldn't know. And my sister would not have known if she hadn't gone to this psychologist
Mm-hmm.
and been hypnotized. If she hadn't have read my book and then Bud Hopkins' book, she would not have had a clue. She just wrote these things off as one of those things, or it must have been a dream, or I don't know what that was, but it couldn't have been alien abduction because there is no such thing. You know what I'm saying?
So how has your sister's alien abduction changed her life?
Well, she has had to come to terms with
Mm-hmm.
her religious beliefs and that of what she now knows to be the truth, is that she's an abductee, is that there are other beings in the world, in the universe, you
right.
know. She's come to the realization that the greater the universe, the greater the God. Okay, so she's able to acclimate the two realities.
Those people who have had alien abduction experiences, how has it affected their religious beliefs?
I think that the religious beliefs, I think it depends on the individual. Some want to give up their religious beliefs because they feel betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible has lied to me. I'm not the best thing going, one step below the angels, you know. And others cling more to their religion. You know, God help me in this
right.
matter. And, well, the greater the universe, the greater the God, that type of thing. So it depends on the individual. I don't think it affects their religious beliefs one way or the other. I believe in a spiritual creator. But I think that, it's like my UFO Jesus Connection, that book tries to let people know that I'm not saying that Jesus and God were just aliens and flying saucers. But there's a spiritual side and there's a physical side. So Ezekiel's wheel within a wheel and
mm-hmm.
Moses' pillar of fire and cloud was the physical side. And these beings that came to them are trying to impart spiritual, help mankind spiritually. They were more spiritually advanced.
So so basically, you're saying that the Bible is evidence that there's more to the UFO phenomenon than we actually understand?
Yes, I think that the Bible is one of the best UFO books of all time.
But what about those people whose religious philosophies, don't include the Bible?
Religious, or you mean people who feel that they're spiritual but not religious?
Well, people who, for example, the members of Islam, the Buddhists, and other religious beliefs, where there is no interpretation within their book that there could be an extraterrestrial connection.
Well, for example, in India, the Vimanas,
right?
They believe that there were craft, UFOs, so to speak. They didn't call them UFOs; they called them Vimanas. But there were these physical craft that the gods, quote unquote, the gods came down in, and these were intelligent beings from elsewhere, be it another planet, another galaxy, or another dimension, but they're physical beings. And they're very spiritual people. They may not believe in the Bible per se, but they have their own doctrine. They have their own.
But there are those who are now believing that the examples in the Bible were a way and other religious books, ancient religious books, were just another way of trying to explain the world around them, their existence, their being, the stars in the skies, and other mysteries that they shared with other civilizations way back then, that today, based on our knowledge of science and the quantum physics and everything we're learning, are no longer mysteries, and we can easily explain them scientifically. So I guess another question I ask many people is, what would happen if the events that occurred or are purported to have occurred in the Bible way back then? What happens if they would have happened today? How would the account be different?
I think that I think that's the whole point of my book, UFO Jesus Connection, is that what happened back then, what they witnessed back then and reported back then, were forerunners of today's UFOs. So these things are happening today, but we don't look at them as gods or demons anymore. We look at them as UFOs and extraterrestrials or other dimensionals, where back then they could only report what they witnessed within the framework of their own reference. Okay?
Yeah.
So the only thing that was in the sky was the sun, the stars, the moon, the birds, and the clouds. So anything above treetop level had to be one of those things. So when they saw a UFO, this was a cloud. Except the cloud was metallic, and the cloud had beings inside, and the cloud landed, and the beings came out of the cloud and talked to them. Okay? So today we wouldn't say that was a cloud. We know that wasn't a cloud. We know it wasn't a planet. So what was it? It was a craft. Well, was it a craft back then? Was it a government prototype back 4,000 years ago? I don't think so.
But what happens, I understand where you're coming from, and I can certainly see where you're coming from, but that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is it's strictly mythology, a way to understand. Maybe there was no cloud. You don't forget, the book of Genesis and the first 4 books of the Old Testament were written by Moses. So he had a lot to stake in there, and it was just a way, in my opinion, to try and put some rule and order into a society that had so many questions.
Yeah, I think a little bit of both is going on there. I think that some of the things that they had to, it's just myth and didn't really happen. But I think that things like Ezekiel's wheel within a wheel, I think that really happened. And what was it? it was some kind of a craft. You know what I'm saying?
Or was it a dream within a dream? Described by Ezekiel as a wheel within a wheel, something we call lucid dreaming.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. But I don't think that you can attribute everything that you read in the Bible to just myth and dreams. And there was the dream about the Jacob's ladder, the ladder, the angels going up and down that ladder.
Sure, because that's how they got to heaven.
Yeah, right. And my sister, under hypnosis, reported going up a ladder into the craft. Now, was this the same thing as Jacob's ladder that Jacob saw? And angels going up and down? Were those the beings that were going up and down? I can't say.
Or was this a metaphor for her ascending since she didn't have any wings? The only way to go up is by a ladder.
Okay. So how else would she have gone up? Not wings, not a ladder, but what? Tractor beam?
You know, a lot of people put faith in hypnosis. I am not one of those people who give credence to any form of hypnosis, because we know for a fact that hypnosis can be manipulated by the director or the person who is doing the hypnosis. For example, even Bud Hopkins' wife, Jane, said that hypnosis was the biggest bunch of bunk she ever saw. It was like a sideshow. So when this is coming from Bud Hopkins' better half, you have to wonder how much credibility actually went into all these alien abduction scenarios and hypnosis sessions that Bud actually did.
Well, I wasn't real close to Bud Hopkins, but I was kind of like acquainted.
Right.
And I know there was a lot of vindictiveness going on with that with his wife when they divorced. And I don't know what the deal was, but I knew that there was vindictiveness.
Yeah.
Now, was she trying to discredit him? I don't know. I can't claim she was.
Right.
But
you know, there's three sides to every story, my friend: his side, her side, and the truth. And you and I have to take our final break for this hour. Please stand by. Exonation. David E. Twichell is our guest. His website is ufoimplications.com, and if you have a UFO report that you'd like to file, www.mufon.com. I'm Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone. Don't go away.
Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies.
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows.
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
True healing must address 4 levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, for us to live joyful and productive lives. We tend to treat 3 of the 4, leaving the spiritual languishing. If you're tired of the same dysfunctional patterns cropping up in your life, Soul Balancing is for you. Trixie Phelps, owner and founder of Soul Balancing, is a naturally gifted energy healer trained in numerous esoteric forms, including shamanism. Trixie has created a powerful modality that safely and effectively clears your energetic field. A soul balancing session can remove interference, heal trauma, and restore your hope. Contact Trixie for a life-changing long-distance session today, www.soulbalancing.world. There's a legend shared by many indigenous cultures of a time when the nations were cast to the 4 corners of the world. Each nation was given a body of sacred knowledge that held a different portion of the truth to preserve. True reality could not be known until all the nations reunited, combining the information. If a single one was missing, the world could not be reborn and darkness would prevail. The Science of Magic Radio is dedicated to reuniting the sacred knowledge. With the understanding, none of us has all the answers, but together we can open new perceptions and possibilities. Through our combined vision, the world can be reborn into a place where darkness no longer prevails. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic daily on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, xzbn.net, or visit us at thescienceofmagic.net.
We said our goodbye the night before. Love was in your eyes the night before. Now today I find you have changed your mind. Treat me like you did the night before.
And welcome back, everyone. David E. Twichell is our special guest this hour, www.ufoimplications.com. And don't forget, if you would like to report a UFO sighting, www.MUFON.com. By the way, The Night Before by the Beatles is always played for one person on this show. It has been for the last, oh my gosh, we were with Talkstar going back to 2001, so that's what, 16 years we've been with Talkstar now. That song is always played for my good friend Ed Shiflett, the COO and Chief of Engineering Projects at Talkstar. There you go, Ed. First night back, you get your music back. Dave Twichell's our special guest. We've been talking to David about his sighting. We've talked to David about his sister's abduction scenario. We've talked to David about his book, The UFO Jesus Connection. David works with MUFON. He's an investigator with MUFON. He does the Michigan MUFON newsletter and much more. But David, I'd like to ask you, I've had Steve Bassett on the show a number of times. I like Steve. I like what he's doing to, work against getting the disclosure done But all these years later, nothing has been accomplished except a lot of noise. What's going on? Why hasn't there been disclosure yet?
I always say on my show, I have a radio show called We Are Not Alone, WHF. And I've had Steve Bassett on my show as well. Excuse me. I always say that I think disclosure is going to happen when ET decides that disclosure is going to happen, and they're the ones that are going to disclose it. Because I cannot see our government/military coming out and saying we're being visited by more advanced race with more advanced technologies and more advanced weapons.
Well, that's really great if the military and the government have full control of the release of information. But we've found out in the past that WikiLeaks and whistleblowers within the government are releasing documents to prove that the government has conspired or covered up things in the past. And yet no one, whether it be the Russians, the American whistleblowers, the Chinese, or any other hacker, has been able to provide any evidence whatsoever that there are documents pertaining to the UFO phenomenon. And I don't think that if there was that information, that a cover-up of all these different people would be feasible. So how come whistleblowers, WikiLeaks, or anybody else hasn't, displayed that information? Because if Russia wanted to discredit the United States, or if China wanted to discredit the United States, all they'd have to do is get that document that UFOs are real, that the United States government has been covering up the fact, and the credibility of the government would cease to exist instantaneously. So why hasn't that happened?
I think the Disclosure Project has many government witnesses and military witnesses that have the documents, have access to the documents, like John, the FAA, can't think of his last name now, but he was in charge of the investigation of the Japan airline.
JAL going into Alaska, over Alaska airspace.
Right.
Yeah.
John Callahan.
Yeah.
John Callahan. And he has the radar readouts and everything else on that subject. So there is a ton of circumstantial evidence.
You see, that's the key word, circumstantial. There is no smoking gun. There is no smoking gun.
I think if you put enough circumstantial evidence together, you will have a smoking gun. The thing is, you have so many eyewitnesses, so many that have witnessed these things, that have been part of the cover-up, that have come forward, and officials that have come forward. Isn't that official disclosure? I mean, would a sitting U.S. president making the same statement make it any more official?
Well, listen. There are so many UFO investigators now who are changing the course of their belief. For example, take Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Randall. He was one of the biggest proponents for the Roswell crash, the alleged Roswell crash. And now he's saying there's too much disinformation that has been discovered about the Roswell crash. It cannot be taken seriously.
Well, I cannot speak to the Roswell crash. It happened before my birth, okay?
Okay,
I
mine
cannot
too.
speak to any other witnesses or abductees, alleged abductees.
Mm-hmm.
I can only speak to what I witnessed. And you take what I witnessed, and I know it's true. I can't prove it.
Yeah.
But I know it's true. But you take every one of those that know it's true, and you put them together, and you've got some kind of I would say, smoking gun.
You know, we offered money for people to come on to a show that I was doing, a TV show, to take a lie detector test on what they were saying about their UFO encounters. And do you know, not one person would take us up on it?
Kidding.
So what does that tell you?
Where do I have to go?
You know? We, going back when I was at 610 CKTB in St. Catharines, I was not only the host of the X-Zone, but I was also the executive producer for the stations. We had a sponsor, the Flying Saucer Restaurant in Niagara Falls, who put up $1 million that would go to anyone who could provide us proof of the existence of a UFO. We got a lot of garbage, a lot of junk, but nothing, I mean absolutely nothing that bared any resemblance to an actual part of a UFO.
Who was it that said that if you only give me the ashtray from the US UFO? Something like that.
You know, so it's not as if people don't want to believe. Like, I want to believe, but I want proof. Like, I've been doing this show for 26 years, 4 guests a night, 5 nights a week. Then I do my TV show. And all of these people that I've had on the show that talk about UFOs, Roswell, New Mexico, Dulce, the hidden bases, Area 51, and all this, it's great talk, but nobody has any proof. And the majority of these people who have been involved in the UFO phenomenon have come and gone. So how is John Q. Public supposed to take ufology seriously? Like 26 years, I was talking to another guest earlier tonight, and he's a journalist. Nothing has changed over the years. Nothing. There has been no new evidence. There has been no new sightings. There hasn't been a smoking gun. I'm sure there have been a lot of new sightings. I'm sorry, but when it comes to the credibility, and everybody has a cell phone that has a high definition camera in it. There are webcams. There are car vans. There are cameras all over the place, and still that all-conclusive photo has yet to be taken. Something is wrong here.
Well, I don't know what you're saying, Rob. Are you saying that what I saw was a dream?
No, I'm not saying that. I wasn't there. But what I'm saying is, with all of these people who claim to have seen something, all of these people who talk about the conspiracy, the cover-up, where is any proof of even a conspiracy or a cover-up? The Majestic 12 papers have been proven to be a phony, a hoax. You've got all this deceit, all this deception. And the hard part for people to swallow is it's not the members of the public that has been deceiving and pulling the wool over the public eyes. It's been members of the UFO community itself. So
I think that's where investigation and constant investigation comes in. We just have to keep investigating until that silver bullet appears, you know?
Yeah, I agree. But I also believe that a lot of these sightings that people are seeing are experimental aircraft, military aircraft, that they don't know what they're seeing, so the mind kind of puts, fills in the little blanks. And this is where a number of the UFO reports are coming from. And, it's hard for a person to admit that they saw a classified aircraft or an experimental aircraft. It's a lot easier for them to say, I saw a UFO from another planet or whatever. But anyway, we must say so long for now. Dave, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Great pleasure talking to you. And X-Zone Nation, our guest this hour has been David E. Twichell, and he is with MUFON. I'll be back on the other side of this break, and if you'd like to find out more about David, his website is ufoimplications.com. And like I said, to file a report of a UFO sighting, www.mufon.com. Don't go away.